Yeah, Kader, I'll give a short break at around 7:30, 7:35. Uh, so today we'll be talking about setting up Karate DSL on Jenkins. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll have some background.
Sumit,
Yep.
sorry. Hey guys, just FYI, after this program is complete, depending upon your attendance, right, 60% or more, you will get a certificate of attendance after a couple of weeks from us. Just FYI, if you are not aware of it, right? Sorry, Sumit, over to you.
No,
That's
no
one
worries.
point I had it in. I forgot saying.
Sure, sure.
Go ahead.
All right. So what we're gonna do today is we'll set up Karate DSL tests on Jenkins. But first, I'll give some background on Jenkins, right? So how to set up Jenkins, what Jenkins does. I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of at an overall perspective what Jenkins is and what it does. But today we'll delve into a little deeper into Jenkins, right? On the operation side, right? So we'll be the one doing that setup, right? So we generally rely on the operations team to do that setup for us. But today we'll delve a little bit deeper into Jenkins and see how we can set up Jenkins from CI/CD pipeline perspective and how we can do it on our own, right? So this is very necessary as the operations team might not be aware of certain plugins that you need. Even you might not have access to those Jenkins servers, right? But you can definitely sit down with operation guys and help them resolve those plugin issues or any setup challenges that they face if you've done it yourself, right? So the first thing that I do whenever I go to my operations team to set up a CI/CD pipeline, I do it myself first and then make sure that I have all the right information for them to set it up. So that if you do that, then it doesn't go too much into back and fro and you're able to set those up by yourself. And also it helps you gain some perspective into operations, right? How they work, what they're if they're discussing something, what they're talking about. So that gives a little bit of an edge to you in terms of how you talk to the operations team. And right in today's space, right? It's very important you know operation things, right? How to set up Docker, how to set up Jenkins. So those are the small things that you need to be aware of. So I'm going to talk a little bit on that as well. So let me share my screen. Can you guys see my screen now?
Not yet, Sumit.
Yes, now.
Okay. So what we'll do today is we'll set up our Jenkins server on Azure, right?
Should be the same process for AWS also, right?
Mostly it's gonna be same. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make our life easier So we'll not set up our Jenkins server from scratch. We're going to use a third-party app that will do the setup for you, so that you don't have to spend too much time doing manual installation of Jenkins, right? So we will avoid that. We'll go to Marketplace. So Azure has a service called Marketplace, where you will find a lot of third-party apps that comes baked in with some either softwares or platforms or software stacks, right? So like Jenkins is one stack that you can have. So you can have container services. So all these are third-party services, right? Some of them are free and some of them you need to pay for that service setup, right? The idea is that some of the services, they only give you a playbook which will allow you to create your stack, but then they don't manage them, right? You will still manage them. But when you see a paid service, it's mostly they are managing that as well, right? So let's search for Jenkins on this. So here you will find multiple configurations of Jenkins, right? So Jenkins with Windows Server 2016, Jenkins cluster. If you don't want a single server, you can go cluster root, and then you have different configurations of server, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look for something that is free and is not paid. Yeah, so this looks free. So we're gonna create this. So it's by Bitnami. It's basically a platform which allows you to create your stacks and also manage them. It's well integrated with Azure, AWS, and anything. So the AWS also has a marketplace where you can go and create a Bitnami. If I go into detail of Bitnami, let's search what Bitnami. So it's a packaged infrastructure, and let's see the applications, right? So it has packaged deployments for all these software platforms. Some of them are free, again, some of them are not. So if they are managing it, so you can basically go to Bitnami, sign in, create your own Bitnami username, password, and then integrate it with, give Bitnami access permissions to Azure or AWS or GCP. So what will happen is, let's say you want to install WordPress, right? So WordPress you want to install. Now it will ask you where you want to install. So you want to install on the cloud, containers, or on your computer, right? So this makes it much more easier for you not to go the manual route where you are typing multiple commands to make that stack up and running. Mostly these are open source stacks, but then you can handle it. Let's say you have you have all the cloud services, right? So AWS, GCP, or Azure, you only have to use Bitnami to do this deployment, right? So tomorrow, if you want to shift from AWS to GCP, it's very simple through Bitnami, right? So here you say multi-tier templates where you want to launch. You want to launch on Azure, Google Cloud, AWS, Azure, front-end, RDS. So it depends on what configuration you need. Again, you can do it via Docker as well. So you can have it on Azure container, AWS container, or Docker Hub DBM, right? And then you can have a cluster on Kubernetes for WordPress, right? So this makes the deployment process much more simple. Otherwise, you'll have to dig deep into each and individual command in order to get that stack up and running. Again, that manual process is not difficult as well, but then you have to learn AWS CLI, Azure CLI methods of how to make it up and running, right? I haven't seen many organizations using Bitnami, but from personal reference point, I feel it's very good.
Is it a paid service, Sumit?
No, it's a free service. It's a free service. It depends on what you want to deploy. So if you are all, so Bitnami provides its own infrastructure as well. So let's assume you don't have uh, uh, Azure Container Services or Kubernetes, so you can use Bitnami clusters as well, right? So it's the same, but it's mostly used as deployment, package deployments. But it has its own infrastructure as well. So if also it has some managed deployments, right? So it will integrate with the Azure. So you will be paying from the infrastructure standpoint, you will be paying the Azure or AWS cost, but from the management perspective, you will be paying Bitnami on that. So when you look at, so let me go back, right? Marketplace. Where did it go? So let's say I'm just searching for Jenkins, right? So if you look for Jenkins, right? So this is free, but let's say Jenkins cluster on Bitnami price varies, right? So they charge something. It is an Azure application, so the Azure infrastructure will be provided by Bitnami itself. So you don't have to bear the Azure cost, but Bitnami will charge you something for this cluster. Right, so it depends on if you want to do it on your own, you can do it. If you want everything managed, you can do it as well.
Got it. Okay.
So we're gonna do this. So we're gonna create a new resource group. We'll give the virtual machine name as Testopper. And then I'm going to use the spot instance. So what is the difference between selecting a specific size and selecting a spot instance? So basically, spot instance is something that will cost you the lowest, right? Because it's basically not a permanent instance. Azure can evict you from this VM anytime it wants. So if the demand increases, it's going to evict your virtual machine, because there is some demand that is coming from the regular customers or regular pay pay method that wants this VM, and Azure doesn't have it. So it's going to evict you because you're using a spot instance. So basically we use spot instance. It costs low, and we do it for temporary computation purpose, right? And then I'm going to use authentication type as username password. So I will username. Okay, let's keep this one. So this is basically your SSH username password. You can go through the key route as well. This is what is recommended if you are doing it in an enterprise, in any enterprise. But password is username password is basically when you're using it for your own personal reason. Now we're going to select the disk. There are multiple configurations. Again, we'll use premium SSD. We don't need to do any networking, management, advanced, or tags. These are mostly operational for the operational needs. So we're going to just do review and create. We're going to skip all these steps. So this is the cost. So the Bitnami is not costing me anything, whereas Azure will cost me these many USDs per hour. I want to click on create. So it says deployment in progress. And this is what it will do. So it's setting up the virtual machine now. So the first thing it did was assign the public IP to this group, then virtual networks, and then it assigned the security groups. Then it created network interfaces, and now it's setting up the virtual machines. It takes a little bit of time to set up or deploy the product, because it's not only creating a VM, right? It's deploying the software as well. So once the VM is set up, then Bitnami comes into picture and does the deployment of Jenkins on top of it, right? But it's fairly quick. It's not that. So we have this public IP address. We're going to copy this because this is what will have Jenkins interface. It might be still setting it up. So I'm going to go to boot diagnostic and see if Bitnami is able to set up. Yeah. So this is, if you go to the log, the Bitnami will show you what the username password is for your application. Yeah.
Do you think the Bitnami will be available for AWS too? Or
That's correct. It is. It is.
Okay.
So it's available for, so when we went to Bitnami, right? So instead of doing from here, I can directly do it from Bitnami. So if you go here, let's search for Jenkins. Now let's a single tier, right? We don't want launch Jenkins on AWS.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right? So you don't even need to go to AWS to do that.
Okay.
So I can directly provide my email ID and password for the AWS to integrate it with Bitnami, and then I can directly launch it from here itself without even going to AWS.
Mm-hmm.
But AWS will have a marketplace as well where you can use this third-party application. So if I go to AWS Marketplace, there should be something similar there.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you go here and search for Jenkins, so this is the one. And then you can say continue to subscribe. It's a free tier, and then you can Once you continue from here, then it will create on where you want to install, right? You want the T2 small, T2 medium, it will give you estimated cost as well.
Okay. Gotcha, Sumit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got the username password from here. So I'm going to copy the password. Right, so we have set up Jenkins now. This is our own Jenkins. You can use a public ID, a public IP if you want, or if you want, you can just open specific ports on that virtual machine so that only your machine can connect to this IP address, right? But it's mainly for test purpose, or you want to keep it open, right? So I'm gonna give this IP to you guys. So I'm gonna keep it running for a while so that you guys can go and play around with this Jenkins, or if you want, you can set up your own, right? It's up to you. So if you go on this link, you should be able to see Jenkins as well. So the first thing that we're gonna do is gonna install, because we are running a Java project, so we need a Java environment inside our Jenkins, right? And because we are running Maven, so we need to install Maven or Gradle, whatever things that we need, right? So I'm gonna add JDK. So JDK name is, I'm gonna use Java 8. It should install automatically. What I'm gonna use is JDK 8, so it will give me all the options of what Java environment I want. I'm gonna go for 8, the latest one, and it will ask you for your Oracle account. So this is all I need to do to get that environment, right? So once I click on save, it's going to install the JDK itself. And the next thing I want to add is Maven. So it will install automatically. So I clicked to both on install automatically. I can do it manually as well and add installer on how I want to install, but I want to make my life easy, right? Apply, save. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a freestyle project okay, let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to create a freestyle project called Karate. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs that I need to fill. The first one is general. If you want any description or the configuration from the project level, right? We're not gonna use any of this. I'm gonna use the source code management as Git. So let me go to GitHub. Yeah. So if you look here, I have uploaded the project to Karate.to. So I'm going to use this as the integration point. So I'm going to click the GitHub, get the URL from here, and then add the credentials, right? I already have the Jenkins credential, but I want the Git credentials, right? So I've added my GitHub credentials here. And so for source code management, the first step that it will do is it will download the repository from this link, right? So if I go to this link, so this is where I go and clone the repository, right? But then I need to also tell what branch I want to pull as well, right? So here I'm telling that pick up a specific branch, master, or pick up all the branches, right? And then I have a build trigger, right? When do you want your build to be triggered, right? So I can say, so I can do trigger build remotely from scripts, build after other projects are built. So I can integrate it with another Jenkins dev pipeline where any developer is doing a commit. Once that project is built, it will run this job automatically for you. Build periodically, or GitHub hook triggers for Git SCM polling. So whenever you commit anything in this repository, it's gonna trigger that. Uh, so poll SCM is one where it will do that. GitHub hook trigger is that where you're listening to a hook, webhook, right? If you're familiar with the concept of webhook, basically you keep your webhook in a listening mode, and whenever any action is performed on that hook, it listens for that event and then performs an action based on it. So we're going to use the easy one, build periodically. Here you can select whatever timeline you want. You can run every hour, run every Tuesday at 6 p.m. So all those you can run. You can set it up. Build environment. You want to basically how you want to do your build. You're going to inspect build log for published greater build scans. You can do it with AND. You can add timestamps to the console output. So let's click on this. About the build if it is stuck. Yes, we want that. But yeah, need some configuration on this, saying timeout variable is this, timeout action, and if timeout happens, what should happen? Fail the build. So that's what we'll do. Delete workspace. I don't want that. We might need to do that in case a lot of artifacts are getting collected, right? And your Jenkins space is not enough, so you can do that. Now we are going to do a build, right? And we're gonna do Maven Target, right? So this is the Maven environment that we have set up, and our goal is to test.
I think our project is a Gradle, but still the Maven target will work for that, isn't it?
No, the project is Maven. So if you look here, there's a pom.xml.
Okay. Okay. Last time we did it in Gradle.
Yeah. So I've uploaded the previous one, the first one, and not the second one.
So it will be the same process for Gradle.
It's the same process. It's the same process for Gradle.
Will there be any option for Gradle that way?
Yeah. So you should have invoke Gradle script.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So you can use this to invoke Gradle. You can use Gradle wrapper. So this will be your config whatever task you have defined, or you can use complete Gradle build itself. So this is what we did. We didn't use the wrapper. We invoked the Gradle.
Okay. Oh, we can use multiple triggers that way.
Yep. So let's assume you have same project, and you have a Gradle build as well as a Maven build, right? So you might want to do both because those two artifacts might go in different places. So I'm going to delete this. So you can have you can add multiple in all the places, right? Not just this one. You can have multiple post build actions, right? So this is once the build is done, you can publish the results. You can send email notification, or you can integrate it with Slack, right? For all this, I'll show you there is a place where you can. So currently, if you see here, there is no Slack option available, right? So we'll not add any post build action for now. So before we jump into Slack, I guess I'll give the floor to Kader to talk about those things. It's 7:40 already. So Kader, floor to you for some time, and then I'll take over.
Yeah, thank you. What I wanted to do is I really need your help to fill out the survey about this program. So this is our 5th session almost. And like I mentioned, those who have attended more than 60% of this session will get a certificate of attendance from Testoper community in 2 weeks. So first thing that I wanted to achieve in this break is to have you guys to fill up the survey. Everyone has access to the Microsoft Teams? Do you have an account? I think someone joined newly, so maybe they don't have an account. So I'll do a couple of things here. Let me just quickly, just a minute. I will also send the direct link of the forms. You can directly also click that link and do it. And those who already have the Microsoft Teams, I will give you the instructions. So you would actually see there is a link I sent in the chat. So please click that and fill up the survey. Probably will take 1 or 2 minutes. It's a pretty straightforward question. I would appreciate you do it now. We'll wait, we'll give some time. And those who already have access to the Microsoft Teams, you know where it is. Go to the Testoper Codeathon channel. Okay, go to the Codeathon channel and then click in the right-hand side, fill Testoper community survey. Then you will have the survey and you can start filling up the survey. So everyone in this call, including me, have to fill up the survey, please. Because whoever has attended, including the volunteers, we have to fill up, and I'm going to start filling it up. And by the time I finish, I'm pretty sure you also would have finished it. So let's get started. You also have to fill the survey.
So I have to fill the survey as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a community survey, right? It's obviously programmed. Some questions may not be applicable for you, but this is very important. Why? Because if we have to really tell to government whatever that we are doing now, we have to show certain statistics. And this is not the survey we are just asking you for the sake of it. We are asking you because it can be helpful for our community that we have come together to articulate ourselves well and grow. There are some questions if you are, so those questions are optional. So like, for example, the question number 27 is if you are a Testopper community partner, you are not, right? So you don't have to fill that question. You can skip it because it's not mandatory. Okay, so I finished it. So if you are following the same way, you should probably have finished it. I'll give a couple of more minutes. So by doing this survey, you're actually helping our community to grow. Thanks a lot for this, taking a couple of minutes to get this done. No worries if Sumit has something else to train. He has one more session next week. He'll continue and close it. So no worries. I see a couple of people have updated survey, so it's good. We are total of 12. So 12 responses. I should have got it. We have 7 responses. That's good. Good work, guys. Thank you very much. A few more to come. I'll wait a little bit. So for those I'll also show you guys quickly this result of the survey too. So for 7 responses. 5 more or at least 4 more to go. You know, I'm actually waiting. If you're not doing it, let me know you're not doing it so I don't have to wait to get until you know, all 11, 12 people finishing it. So if anyone is not doing it, please do let me know already if you're not doing it. Or maybe I can check this. Hold on. Eight responses. Thank you very much. Nine responses. Thank you very much. Nine responses. Thank you. 3 more to go. We'll give 1 more minute. Okay. I trust the 3% will do it, but let's quickly look at it, right? It's quite interesting to see. So we have had, I'm sharing my screen. We have had 9 responses so far. And, you know, last name. So if you look at it, it's you know, around 8 male and 1 female. So we need more females. Age category, most of us are adults. So there's no one youth or senior. This is good. 7 are from Canada, 2 from other countries. 5 responses, and I need to look at what is that. So most of us are from Brampton and Mississauga, right? Okay, that's good. Education level, postgraduate 3, graduate 4, certification or diploma 2. This is good. How many years you have immigrated? So greater than 3 years So we don't have a lot of people who recently immigrated coming in. That's a good thing. We need to look at that area. So most of us are Asian, and a lot of them are employed. So some are not employed. So feel free to, reach out to us if you need any help, and look at our job channel and things like that. And those who are employed, I kindly request that you look at if there is any jobs that are available in your company, post that in our Microsoft team so unemployed can get the job, right? So we need to help each other as a community to assist each other. I sincerely recommend, even though we are 12 people, let's do that. Your work experience level, most of them are associate. This is okay, manager, okay. Okay. Interesting. How many years of work experience? A lot of them are in 1 to 5 years and 10 to 15 years. This is interesting. Okay, so if you look at this, you get some good understanding, right? So a lot of people are in product management. Wow, that's interesting. IT management 4. Research and development 0. Interesting. Select the industry experience, communication, retail. A lot of people are in communication. Finance, banking 3, high tech 2. Okay. Technology. A lot of people are in artificial intelligence. Wow, you are going to enjoy that master class. So thank you very much. I'm happy to see that Sumit class has helped you guys to develop your skills. This is good. And some of you will get the certificates, and some of you have got additional extra certificate based on the learnings that we have done. Some of you have got both. This is really good. Has it helped you in the professional growth? Yes, 2 people have mentioned new job. So we might probably get back to you to kind of understand from you guys how it actually helped you to become a, get a new job and improve performance. It will be a good case study for us. Rating seems to be good, 4.5. That is good. Yeah, this one most probably may not be applicable for you unless any one of you is official partner, which I don't think. How would you contribute to be included people at grassroots movement? Attendee 2, volunteer 7. This is interesting. I wanted to talk to all 7 of you and see how I can get you to volunteer into our organization. This is really good. Perfect, guys. This is a great job, and thanks a lot. Let's get to the second one and third one. And I'm not going to wait to do that, but just wanted to let you know. The second one is, please go to the Eventbrite. Right, you know the Eventbrite link for us, and there are 2 programs that's coming up in March. One is AI connected industries and automation. The second one is artificial intelligence and TensorFlow. And the link for going to our Testoper is simple: testoper.eventbrite.com. Right, so that's what it is. You can do that. It actually has a other link. So go to that and register for those 2 programs. That's my second kind ask. If you get time now, you can do it, or if you wanted to do it after the session, please, it's fine. And the last thing I need from you is, please, there is a content I have written here. If you can take this content, all you have to do is take this content, go to your LinkedIn. If you have a LinkedIn, I have already done it, so I don't have to do it again. But go to the LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, if you don't know how to do a post, when you click your home page, there is something called as a start a post. You can click this and then type whatever that I have put in here. Make sure it's not copy and paste, right? So take this out. Right, and when you do this, automatically it will pick the picture from the Eventbrite. All you have to do is click post. It just takes 1 second to do this. I would appreciate it, because it will help for your contacts to know about the meetup that we are trying to do. It will increase the people coming and learning, attending these free programs. Those are the 3 things I really wanted to ask you. Sumit, I will hand over the floor to you. I know it's 6 minutes. If you wanted to close it and complete the rest of it in the next session, you are welcome to decide, but I will leave it to you to make that call.
No, sure.
Sincere, kind request to please help us in all these 3 things. We all have to help each other to grow this community. And if we grow, we all will benefit. Somebody might refer us in some company job if we lose a job, or somebody might give us a business if we are doing a business or entrepreneurship. So it all helping each other is the only way that we all can grow as a community, as a people-led grassroots movement, and as again an open community. And I'm looking forward to each one of you, counting on each one of you to really help us on this. Thank you very much. Over to you, Sumit.
Thanks, Kalan. So let's move to this, right? So now we're gonna go to dashboard and manage Jenkins. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna find some plugins for us, right? So what plugin? Okay, let's use HTML Publisher, right? And Cucumber reports. Cucumber report, trend reports. Right, so okay, let's do with these three. So what this is going to do is it's going to create a visual for you on the trend. This will create a visualization for you on the reporting side. And HTML Publisher is basically setting up any HTML file that you have and publish it on either Jenkins on an IP, or it will create a zip version of that so that we can download it for our reference. So I'll use the HTML Publisher to show how to add it in post-build. Oh, we forgot about the Slack, right? So let's add the Slack as well. We'll not add it, well, I'll just show what Slack does. Because otherwise we have to wait for Jenkins to restart. So now if I go to this and do configuration, I should have those. So if you look here, Cucumber trend reports, Cucumber reports, and publish HTML reports. So if I go to publish HTML reports, add the directory to archive, which is gonna be, let's see, target surefire reports. So this is the relative path that I'm providing. And I'm going to use this file as a reference point.
So for sure, the target folder should not be added into git ignore. Case, right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. No, git ignore is different, right? So git ignore is basically this, right? So it ignores any commit to your source code repository, right? But when you do a build, right, this target folder will get automatically created in your workspace.
Okay.
Right? So you don't need to put this in git ignore. But target, you will definitely put it in git ignore because this is something that you don't want to get uploaded to your source code, right? But then on the Jenkins side, you don't have to worry about it because this target will automatically create when you do any build.
Okay, gotcha.
Publishing options, keep past, if you want to keep past HTML reports, or you want to link to the last field, allowing missing, it's your configuration, right? So whatever you want to do with that. So let's run this build, right? So let's do a build now. Let's go here and look at the console output. So first thing it is doing is it is downloading on the Maven repository dependencies from Maven. and then it is starting to run the test. So success, the build is success. It ran 2 tests. Right, now let's look at, so this is the whole log that you will have, which is stored, so you can go anytime and look at it, right? You don't have to be worried about that your logs are lost, right? Or you don't know what went wrong. So if you look here, it started, created the jar first, Java environment, and then these are all your Maven dependencies and plugins that didn't install. Now back to the project. So if I look here, so if you look here, this is the HTML report that got generated. This is what got published, right? Now if I go here, somehow it's not showing in proper formatting. So I'm gonna download this as a zip. So I'm gonna show in the folder, extract here. Once I go here, I open this. This is what it ran, right?
Okay.
It should have showed me there as a visualization, but I guess something wrong with this broken HTML.
I think it needs other folders too, not only HTML.
Yes, that's correct. So other folders are in the zip file. So we created that zip file. So I was thinking that it's going to pick up whatever we archived, it's going to pick up the whole folder and not just this file. So if I go here, click here, it's showing me, but then I guess it doesn't have the folder connection to it.
Yeah. In my
But
work, I saw some of them, they used Java X or some dependency to email the HTML.
you can do that. So if I go, so you can basically do a lot of things. So I don't even prefer HTML report. So what I will do is, if I am doing it for my organization, I'll create the Cucumber reports, right? Which is basically creating a JSON file. So it will create a JSON file, and it will keep the reporting as your Cucumber reports.
Okay.
Right. So manage Jenkins, manage plugins. So if you also want to integrate it with Microsoft Teams, you can do that, or Slack.
I think you mentioned sometime Azure reporting also. It will
That's correct. That's correct. You can do Azure reporting as well. So a lot of combination are there. So Slack notifications, global Slack notifiers, Slack upload. So it's Cucumber Slack notifier as well. So you can use this as well. And then if you want to go Azure route, then you have Azure build reports as well. Azure and Cucumber both going to use the JSON format. Azure can use XML format as well, but then because you're running BDD, it's going to be a little trickier for Azure to actually showcase in the format that you want. It's more work in Azure. So that's why when you're running BDD, I would only recommend Azure if you are using Azure tags or Azure decorators inside your test. Otherwise, I would recommend you going for Cucumber. All right, I guess we have 5 minutes over time, so I'm going to stop it here. So what we'll do in the next session is I'll send some exercise that we can do as a group, and then we'll discuss that in the next session, and keep the floor open for Q&A.
Thank you, Sumit. Team, I know that Navati, you're new, and so you know how to join, because all the questions and exercises are posted in the Teams channel. So you can look it up there. Good session as usual, Sumit. I'm looking forward to the next session and the last session.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks all. Thank you very much.
Bye.
It's so helpful.
Awesome, team. Take care. a great evening.